You're listening to the Breakaway Breakdown podcast, where we bring you interviews with some of the top ropers in the country, news about what's going on in the fastest sport on dirt, training tips for you and your horses, and so much more. I'm your host, Casey Allen. Let's jump in. Hey, you guys. Okay, so today's episode features two young guns I have been waiting to talk to you guys about. First, you're going to hear from Emilee Charlesworth. She is a 17-year-old all-around phenom. Wait till you hear what some of the things this girl has done in her career already. She is so darn cool. But anyway, the reason you're hearing from her is because she won $110,000 at the Roping Futurities of America slot race on a 4-year-old that had never been entered with a rope barrier. Just setting the stage a little bit for you guys. It was so much fun to watch, as electric as it sounds. So you're going to get to hear from her about that roping from back in February. And then you're going to hear from our guest host, Lillian Kent. She is one of our digital content producers for Breakaway Roping Journal. And she caught up with Hali Williams after she won over $50,000 at RodeoHouston. So I want to make sure I throw in there that Hali is still finishing high school. So her and Emilee are both in high school, and we are talking about there being some major financial decisions for these high schoolers. Also, I want to point out that with Hali Williams' RodeoHouston win, she moved to number 1 in the WPRA World Standings. And with over $89,000 in earnings, she currently has more than number 1 ranked barrel racer Jordan Briggs. So for the first time in history, a breakaway roper has more money won in the WPRA standings than a barrel racer. That is insane, and I cannot wait to get more into that on some upcoming episodes that we have planned for you guys. But we're not talking about those. We're talking about Emilee Charlesworth and Hali Williams, who you're going to be hearing from today. And I want you guys to know this episode is brought to you by our friends at Equinety, and I am going to tell you more about them between Emilee and Hali's interviews. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Here's Emilee. All right, Emilee, so we tried to talk after the Roping Futurities of America when you won the slot roping and took home, was it $110,000? And there was a lot of emotions happening and everything, so I wanted to make sure that people got to meet the real you and they got your story, and it was when things were a little bit calmer and settled down. So thank you again for talking to me today, and let's just jump in and talk about the Roping Futurities of America event and the slot roping that you won that week.
It was an awesome week, and Dylan did a great job putting it on, and it was just it was awesome roping, and I'm glad that everything worked out for me. It couldn't have been a better week.
Now, you weren't just breakaway in there, right? You were like helping out, you were carrying the flag. I feel like you were in the arena more than anybody that week.
Yes, ma'am. I was running cattle out for all the tie-down ropings, and then I would carry the flag for all the slot ropings and the futurities and stuff every night.
Awesome. Now, were you doing that on the 4-year-old you roped on, or was that a different horse?
No, ma'am. That was a different horse.
I gotcha. So let's talk about the horse that you thought you were going to be using in the slot roping and the one you ended up using.
So the horse that I thought I was going to be using, I got him from my sister, and she was going to put him in the snaffle bit futurity, but he didn't work out. So I was going to ride him in the slot roping, and we were shipping a bunch of cattle, and he bowed a tendon. So I just the people that own my little mare, Jerry and Kathy Rush, I was just supposed to be riding her for them, and I called them and I was like, hey, do y'all mind if I borrow y'all's mare for the slot roping? Because I don't have a 3-year-old. They're like, yeah, get after it, whatever, no big deal. So then I started riding her, and it all worked out. She was a little farther behind than most horses, and I took her to Brent Lewis's, and he helped me a lot with her. Like, he helped me so much. And then it just worked out.
Awesome. So the setup was a little bit challenging for some of the girls that were riding those younger horses. What did you do because your runs were both you came back with like a low 4 on 2. So what were you doing to set yourself and your horse up to get shots at that roping?
So it worked out for me because that little mare, she's not, like I said, she was a little behind everybody else. So it was either all out or nothing. Like it was either going to be amazing or you weren't going to do anything. So I just went at the bottom of my nod, and there was nothing to it. I wasn't even paying attention. All I wanted to do was go, so I didn't get outran.
I gotcha. So kind of how, like, timeline wise, how much time did you have on that mare to get her ready, and like how green was she when you realized you were going to have to ride her?
So I got her in August, and she had 30 days on her.
Goodness.
So, and I started roping on her in the end of October.
That's
tracking the arena.
So she's tracking cows in October. Now, part of the rules, like just for the people at home, part of the rules were that it had to be a coming 4-year-old that you used in the slot roping that had never been entered. So, I mean, they were all green, but that's pretty crazy. Like, how much did you pack into that 3 or 4 months?
Probably too much, like a little too much probably, but she handled it really well, and I felt bad, but it was good. Like right now she's turned out. She's going to take a couple months off. Like it was a lot for her, but she handled it well, and she's still good in the box. We didn't blow her up or anything. She was tired.
Yeah, no, she looked solid. She didn't look like she was getting super nervous in there or anything. Like, were you nervous at all, or were you just trying to keep her calm?
No, I was nervous. You can ask Madeline Richards and Hali Williams about that. They will tell you all about it. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're 17 years old, and there was some sharks in that roping. Like, are you used to roping against all those girls, or were you feeling a little intimidated?
No, I roped with them quite a bit. We were all in Tulsa together, and I've been roping with them for a while, so it was just kind of a regular crowd.
So second round, you backed in there. You're good on your first one. And what was that feeling when you put that loop on and realized you pretty much had it in the bag?
It was weird. I'm not gonna lie. It was just silent. It was like, holy crap! Like that worked out for me right there. That it just worked, and I was happy because it worked, and I drew good, and it went so good. I was just happy. I was like, it was a relief. Really, it was great.
110,000, you're 17. What are the game plans? Are you just like, mom and dad take the wheel? Do you have some like things that you're going to plan on spending, investing? Like, I have to know.
Well, yeah, mom and dad take the wheel pretty much. That's pretty much all it is. I'm 17. I don't know what to do with it.
It's probably smarter that way.
I have enough money to go to college now, I guess.
You could go to Sonic a bunch, because that's what you told me after the roping. You said, I'm just hungry. I want Sonic.
I actually didn't go to Sonic. I went to Cane's.
Whoa.
I know. Big game changer.
Really moving up. You're going to be a Chick-fil-A fast food girly after this.
Oh, no. God. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about you. Let's talk about your family and how you got started in rodeo.
So me and my family, we live in Marathon, Texas on a ranch, and we run yearlings, and we have a cattle ranch, and we raise a couple horses, and it's pretty cool to be out here with them all the time.
I gotcha. And you have siblings too?
Yes, ma'am. I have one sister.
I gotcha. Older or younger?
Older.
Oh, okay. And does she rodeo also?
She team ropes. She heads a little bit. She's mostly into the rein cow horse stuff. She really enjoys that. So.
Awesome. Now, you're not the one that like blew everybody's minds at the high school finals this year in the rein cow horse, are you? Is that you?
Possibly. I scored a 300 in the second round there.
Yep. You are the one that I've heard about. Okay. That was like crazy out there. Everybody lost their minds.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, rein cow horse, breakaway. What else are you into? What other events do you do?
Barrels and I head.
Okay. So what is...
Trick ride back in my days.
You used to trick ride?
I did. I trick rode at the NFR in 2015 with Madison McDonald.
Girl, what have you not packed into these 17 years on this earth?
That's a great question.
So do you online school? Do you public school? What does that look like?
Online.
Okay. And as far as practice goes, I mean, how often are you ranching? How often are you in the practice pen? How do you manage all those different events?
So ranching wise, it's a lot easier than you would think, because in the spring we get all of our yearlings in, and then we turn them out, and then the summer we just take care of them, wash them, and then we ship them in the fall. So we have all winter to just regroup and get everything together. So it's not easy, but it does help them coming in and out.
Mm-hmm. And then how often are you out there roping? How often are you roping the dummy? I mean, how are you keeping all these horses going all these different directions?
So I rope every day. My sister shoots for me if my dad can't be there, and or my mom or my grandma. There's a whole herd of them. So I'll rope. Sometimes I'll rope in the morning. Sometimes I'll rope at night. It just depends, really, what we're doing. But I try to rope every day. Yes, ma'am.
What all events have you made nationals in? Have you gone across the board?
I've just made it in the Rain Cow Horse and Breakaway.
Okay. And then, so what are you thinking about college? Is college rodeo in the plans? Do you have a degree in mind or like a specific major?
No, I don't have a specific major yet, but I think I'm planning on going to Cisco College, and I'm going to college rodeo definitely. But I haven't made a bunch of plans yet.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches are knocking on your doors. Awesome. So where did this work ethic come from? I mean, when you were younger, were you just wanting to practice all the time? How did you know rodeo was for you besides just being around it?
I don't know, but I do remember there was a day in 12 and under, and I never really took it serious like when I was younger. I was just, one of those kids that ran around at the rodeo. And I remember telling my dad, I said, Dad, I don't want to suck anymore. I remember that day. It's terrible that I said that, but I remember. I said, Dad, I don't want to suck anymore. And ever since then, it's gone uphill.
That's awesome. So when did we decide to get out of the trick riding? How did we get into trick? I now have a ton of questions about trick riding. We're going to have to talk about that.
Well, so I just got into it when I was 8. I got into it when I was 8 years old, and then I trick rode for 2 years, and then I went to the NFR when I was 10. And then a year went by. I trick rode at the Times events. And then I just kind of grew out of it. I didn't really like wearing sparkles all the time. So and then I started roping more. And I did rope when I was trick riding, but I just grew out of it. And I wanted to rope more than I wanted to trick ride.
You didn't want to suck at the roping, so you had to stop trick riding?
Oh, yeah. No, I just didn't like being an act at a rodeo. I like to win.
Okay. So what are some things coming from the Rain Cow Horse side of things that you can, besides just the horsemanship and riding, that has kind of helped you in roping, or what does the crossover look like there?
It's, ever since I didn't start doing cow horse till about 2 years ago, and my sophomore year, and my roping has changed so much, like my horsemanship, like everything is just like my riding is just put together more, and I can feel my horses more. Everything about it just changed completely when I started doing Rain Cow Horse.
That's so interesting to me because, I find the crossover so fascinating there that you've got to do both. And your sister, you said she's showing in the snaffle bit and stuff?
She hasn't got a horse yet, but okay. She had that one and he didn't make it, so that's how I got him.
Okay. So what's next from here? Where do you go? What's your schedule look like this year?
I have 2 high school rodeos coming up. And then after that, the U.S. finals, the open breakaway there for sure. And then just a couple open rodeos. Not much planned so far. And we start getting cattle in here in a month, so I'll be here a little bit.
What's your normal breakaway horse when you're not playing with all these babies and winning all the money?
So I have a couple. I've got my good one. His name's Cheeseburger. He's 12. He's pretty good. I got him from Tyler Merrill, and he was a heel horse when I got him, so it was pretty easy to switch him over.
Heck yeah. Who's been your biggest influence kind of helping you get to this point? Has it been mainly your family, or do you ride with a lot of other people?
It's been my mom and dad mostly, and then for the RFA and all my roping breakaway, and it's definitely been Brent Lewis. He's helped a bunch. And then for Rank Cow Horse, Ron Rawls has helped me a lot too.
Awesome. So Emilee, for any of the other like high school kids or younger kids that are out there that are, there's a lot of distractions you guys have at a young age with so much on the line. What would you tell kids that are kind of wanting to go play with the big dogs and do what you do?
To not overthink anything. Just do what you do at home and don't overthink it.
Well, Emilee, I am so glad that I got to talk to you again and we weren't just laughing in shock in the arena. That was just so insane. Like, watching you win that kind of money, it was so much fun to watch, and I think it was such a testament of just the payout at the Roping Futurities of America and what a crazy event that was. So I just want to thank you again for talking to me again, and is there anything else that you feel like I missed or anything else you want to say about your career so far or that win?
No, I don't think so. I just thanks to everybody who put it on, and thank you for this interview. And it was an awesome event, and I can't wait for next year.
Today's episode is brought to you by Equinety. Equinety Horse XL is a 100% pure amino acid supplement that can help your horse perform better from the cellular level. There is no fillers added, no sugars, no starches, no soy, nothing except 100% pure amino acids. What this does for your horse is it can help them from the cellular level perform better. We're talking quicker muscle recovery and stronger collagen for a healthier coat and bones. It can help increase focus, help regulate the gut, so many different things. And you can actually use it in combination with Equinety Ultimate OEC. That's a liquid supplement that has a flaxseed-based omega-3 oil, natural vitamin E, colloidal silver, and other ingredients that are there specifically to help your horse from the cellular level. It helps support cardiovascular health, joint health, healthier skin and coat, gastric health, and can help increase immune function. We are so grateful for Equinety for bringing us this episode today. And if you want more information about their products, you've got to check out teamequinety.com. That's teamequinety.com to check out Equinety Horse XL and Equinety Ultimate OEC. Okay, first teenager down, second to go. Here's Hali Williams after her win at RodeoHouston with our guest host, Lillian Kent.
So first of all, congratulations. I know Houston is such a huge stage. Tell me a little bit about what your mental game was going into the finals today.
I honestly, I can't say I had, I thought about that run all year last year going through Northwest. That was kind of my goal, was to make Northwest rodeos. And it was kind of surreal. I feel like in the Super Series, I didn't do my job as good as I could have. I missed 2 calves that went to the left. And so that was a little bit of a knockdown of confidence-wise, and then kind of ran through the barrier of the semifinals, but it advanced us. And then I've actually been kind of sick lately the last 3 or 4 days, and I've been we took some medicine last night, and we were driving back. I passed out and slept, and then this morning I'm talking to my dad, and, I don't really know how many people normally give motivational speeches or whatever, but my dad isn't really one of the people that gives, super encouraging words. He's normally just, go out there and do it and make a run. And he sent me this pretty sweet little text this morning, and he's like, it doesn't matter win or lose. You're still going hard this year. You got this. Go have fun. Enjoy the moment. And I do a pretty good calf in the what would you call that? The shootout or the finals. And then in the shootout round, I did not. My calf was supposed to go left. It was supposed to be a little slower, and he beat me out of the gates. And I just went and made a run. I've watched Houston short round a lot, and I was like, just go get a run down, and hopefully I was just shooting for second or third. Honestly, I figured someone was going to top me before, but
I know it's such a big arena down there. I mean, you could be running for 100 yards.
Yes, it's crazy. I watched these videos the last 2. I don't know. Whenever Houston started, I've been watching it every night. I'd turn it on Cowboy Channel, whatever we were doing. I've been watching the first, and I'm always like, why are these girls not throwing? These calves are going left. And until you're in that situation, those calves, they can go left so hard, so quick, and they can't go right very much. So if you draw one that goes right, you're kind of the money shot because you got a good one. I've been kind of off my game this week. I've been so sick. I've just been trying to clear up the head cold where I could stay on and have my balance back. And I didn't read all the rules and everything. And so, like, when I rose in the championship round, I didn't know. I thought I lost the tiebreaker because Martha had won more money than me. And I walk out and they're like, no, semifinals trumps wild card. And so it was kind of, honestly, it was like I was prepared to go home. And then they're like, oh, you can try another tap, but you're first out. So it was an awesome feeling.
Yeah, no stress there, I don't think.
No, that actually happened to Josh Frost, too. He thought he went off of, money earnings, but for them, it went off of highest ride in the semifinals. So
you said highest ride in the semifinals? So
Josh Frost, the rider, I'm buddy with his wife, and so he actually had the same scenario. He had bucked off in the first round, and then come down to it, and he was the highest point in the semifinals, so they advanced him. He ended up winning second.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of crazy. The rules are so different here.
Rodeo Houston's keeping it interesting.
It does.
So, walk us through your finals run, kind of play by play.
I knew I was first gunner out, and I've been watching all the other shootout runs, and it's I just wanted to put my name on the board, and I wanted to have a clean run. I got beat out of the barrier a little bit. I was trying to stay off of it, not freak myself out by being on the barrier at Houston. But when I put my 3-6, that just was being aggressive, but not stupid in the run. Mm-hmm. I was pretty excited with how my horse worked. We got a little excited in the semifinals, and I made sure I had a little bit more of the edge off of it. But
okay, just more warm up time?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I actually saddled him up before we left the village where Rodeo Houston keeps us.
Okay.
And I looked him down in the little pen they gave us, and then we got there, and I looked him down again. He's 7, and honestly, I can say that this was, like, really the first ever rodeo he's truly felt the excitement. It probably was for me a little bit. I've been pretty nonchalant about a lot of runs, and then this one dang sure had my nerves a little bit more than normal.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like he stayed really true through the run, and, 3-6 for 50 grand is pretty sweet.
Not very often you have a 3-6 anymore. It wins money, so it's pretty awesome at $150,000.
Yes, we'll take it. So I know you've been sick. Was there anything that you were focusing on in particular in the run? Just, get your name on the board, get through it?
To be honest, you never know. I had an amazing group of girls behind me. You got JJ the gunner. Joey Williams is incredible in any situation, and Tiffany Sheik's been on fire lately. So it's always a battle, and anymore, a time when the board might place, might not sometimes, but when you're first gunner out, you just have to go put your name on the board and let them come beat you. And sometimes it falls apart, especially at Houston, because it's a difficult setup. I'm thankful I do 2 straight calves, because I don't know if I could be here if I didn't draw straight calves, to be honest. Yes. I got to work on that for next year.
A lot of space to run around out there.
Yes, there is, definitely.
So I know you mentioned Red Light was feeling good. How is he handling the rodeo road so far this year?
He has been amazing, honestly. I've been blessed with him. He's handled, we were rookie on rookie last year, and he's been taking everything. I mean, the only time I think probably it was my nerves, the excitement of getting to run at Houston Rodeo, which we've all watched, and I watched for so many years growing up, hoping one day the breakaway would be there, and now I got to rope in it. But it's been kind of, he's been a blessing for sure. I need to do a little bit better job of making sure he stays a little bit more tired so he works a little better, but I can't fault him. It's my fault normally.
I know it's such a balance between wanting to keep them at the top of their game and also keeping them honed in for this is your job, and he's only 7, so.
Yes, I was sitting back there and I feel like for me, I'm always trying to be that person that's making sure my horse is, the number one priority and they're feeling their best, because if they are, then they're going to give you this chance to win money. And I'm sitting down there in the super series, and my horse is freaking out with the noise and everything, and I had already looked him down, and I'm like, I told Mom, I have got to discipline him a little bit better. I got to make sure he's focused on being a rope horse and not being like the spoiled little 7-year-old he is. And so I kind of got a little bit of that edge knocked off today. It helped a lot.
So kind of just walk us through a day in your life right now.
Get up. I'm finishing my last semester as a senior in high school. And then typically go outside and ride horses, do drills, whatever we have going on that day. And then typically either we're going to a rodeo that night or a jackpot. We've got some pretty awesome jackpots locally around our house in Granbury and Decatur. So we're going somewhere every day, it seems. And then come home and start it over again the next day.
Sweet. And then are you doing online school to finish it out, or are you?
I'm doing Ignite Christian Academy based out of Illinois.
Nice. It's probably impossible to do school when you're on the rodeo road.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I mean, I have been on deadlines. Actually, San Antonio was one of my deadlines, but I've been trying to get it done so I don't have to worry about it while I'm in California and the Northwest run this year. Trying to get it done early and enjoy my year break.
Awesome. So I just wanted to run through some legends in the breakaway, maybe some people you've grown to kind of have in your little community you mentioned, and I would just love if you had something that you maybe learned from them or a roping tip that you got from them.
The veterans that are awesome to talk to and listen to their wisdom, like LD Lady, and she's honestly, her and my dad, for example, like I feel like they're just different models, but they're very similar in certain ways, and it's surreal talking to her. She has so much wisdom and guidance that she can give us. It's awesome that we get to have, like, JJ, Jackie, LD, and Hope in a way that they all were kind of like the fundamental group that kept the breakaway roping in all of these producers and what's the word for the...
Kind of keep them in the front of the mind.
Yes.
And fight
keep
for
them,
it.
Be the spokesperson to keep breakaway in the world. And now it's awesome that they're so, it's awesome that they're getting to compete at this stage that they worked so hard to get us there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they put in the hard work, and now they're getting to see everything come together, like you mentioned with the American last weekend.
Yes, and for us, I mean, for the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, we've never, we didn't have to fight for it because we didn't have a name when they were trying to fight for it, And now we're getting to grow up in all these amazing stages, just like this year at Houston and the American. So,
Awesome. Well, I think that's it for me. Is there anything you want to make sure I get in there?
To thank the Houston hospitality and all the volunteers, and they were so kind and gracious throughout this whole experience. The people of the village and the people that we had to go, like all the policemen and security guards they had down there, and judges were amazing to deal with. Hospitality, secretaries, it was an unreal experience. You don't have to deal with that amount of gratitude anymore. It's very rare we get to see that many nice people together for an association.
Fantastic. Yeah, the amount of volunteers they have working in Houston is like, I want to say 30,000 or some ridiculous number like that.
Oh, it's honestly surreal. Like, you pull in and you've got smiling faces from ear to ear, and like you can have issues. Like the first night, my papers wouldn't print off with the right dates for the Coggins, and like I had it on my iPad, but it wouldn't, like when we tried to print it off because they needed paper copies, and ended up I was able to screenshot it, send it to them, and they just like were so because you can have rude looks anywhere, and they were gracious throughout the whole deal and were amazing to deal with.
Perfect. Well, congratulations. We'll be cheering for you going forward, and excited to get to talk to you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm telling you guys, the future is so bright for breakaway roping. I cannot believe the talent that is coming up through the ranks. It's going to be so much fun to watch over the next few years, and I think it just speaks to how well the ball is rolling for breakaway roping right now. We're coming up on the end of Women's History Month, so make sure you guys are checking out our content on all of the amazing women who paved the way for young guns like these on breakawayropingjournal.com. Also, make sure you're keeping up with us because there is a lot of things happening coming up within the next couple months at Breakaway Roping Journal, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're going to be keeping you in the loop. If you're listening at the time of release, that means that we are at the BFI in Guthrie, Oklahoma, where we will have interviews coming your way from the breakaway roping winner there. And a little birdie told me that there is a 2-part series coming with the one and only Jackie Crawford for you guys. So look for those episodes to start hitting all your favorite podcast players very soon. You are not going to want to miss it. We go into the full backstory of how Jackie Crawford became Jackie Crawford. So make sure you guys check out teamequinety.com. That's TEAMEQUINETY.com for more information on Equinety OEC and Equinety XL. Thank you guys so much for listening. And like I said, stay tuned. We have a ton of content coming your way in the next couple weeks.